What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, August 24th, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is 4:18 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States. I wanted to give you guys an update on the situation with Prigozhin. So, Vladimir Putin made a statement today about Prigozhin, and I want to just play this video clip for you so you can see exactly what he said. So he didn't really say anything drastic. He kind of just said that Prigozhin served the Russian cause fighting in Ukraine. But I'm just going to read to you what he said. So I'll read to you. Since the start of the 90s, he was an individual with a difficult fate. He both made serious mistakes in life and achieved the results necessary for him for the common cause. When I asked him, like in the recent months, he was a talented person, talented businessman. He worked with a result not only in our country, but abroad in Africa specifically. He was dealing there with gas, oil, and precious gems. As I found out, he returned from Africa just yesterday. He was meeting here with certain officials, but the leader of the investigative committee reported to me this morning that they had already started a preliminary investigation of this incident and it will be conducted in full. Okay, so that's pretty much all he said. Just a really weird situation here with Prigozhin. There was apparently another plane, another Wagner plane that was in the air today that landed in Azerbaijan. And we're also getting some information that apparently Prigozhin was listed as a passenger on that second plane that landed in Moscow. So I don't know if this is all just a giant, staged event, basically, that, Prigozhin was trying to fake his own death. And maybe now he actually went to Azerbaijan. Maybe he struck a deal with NATO and that basically NATO would provide asylum for him if he were to carry out this rebellion and stuff like that. Maybe they were going to create a new identity for him. And this is part of that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie Eraser from the 90s. But that was with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger played like a government agent that would be tasked with erasing people's identities, and he would fake their deaths. It just kind of reminds me of that. And here's a screenshot of another one of Prigozhin's planes that was in the air today that flew from Moscow to Baku in Azerbaijan. So there were three of Prigozhin planes in the air in the last 24 hours. There was the one that crashed. Then there was one that was in midair that turned around and landed in Moscow. And then this one here that flew to Azerbaijan. So maybe Prigozhin was on this plane and this was his escape, out of Russia. I don't know. We did have some doomsday planes in the air last night. If you missed my live stream, I'll just quickly update you. So last night there was a presidential doomsday plane and also a nuke sniffer plane in the air. Okay, this was right after the news broke of Prigozhin being killed. And here's the screenshot of those two planes in the air. And then we had two nuclear war command and control planes in the air at the same time, which is really weird. The CIA has not confirmed Prigozhin's death just yet. So that's pretty interesting. What's also interesting is that Prigozhin reportedly put up his jet for sale, and potential buyers were inspecting the plane the day before, up until the morning that the plane took off in the air. And there's actually a video that came out showing these buyers going through Prigozhin's plane on the morning of yesterday, when it was at the airport. Okay, so is it possible that something was put on the plane? I don't know. U.S. intelligence is still in the early stages of assessing the cause of the plane crash. The U.S. has not seen indications that a missile downed the airplane. Uh, so, we'll have to wait and see what the U.S. comes up with. Apparently, also, Prigozhin's jet had not been serviced since 2019 due to sanctions, because it's a company that was complying with the sanctions, Embraer. And they're saying that basically they complied with the Russian sanctions. And as a result, they could not service this jet because it was a Russian plane and it was in Russia. They suspended all aircraft maintenance in 2019. Okay. So, that's pretty interesting. The Russian ruble is still very, very low. This week, you can see it's actually starting to go down again. It had a little bit of a boost last week, but now it's going back down again. Okay. So here you can see the past month it was going down, and then they changed the interest rates. They increased them 3.5%, and there was a little bit of a boost, but now it's going back down again. So, if we look at the past year, you can see the ruble is just going down. And then if we look at the last 5 years, you can see how low the ruble is now, basically almost as low as when the war started. So, the Russian economy is in trouble. We also have some breaking news that apparently Ukrainian special forces made a beach landing on Crimea last night, and this is the area where they made that landing. This little peninsula here on the western side of Crimea. Apparently, they took out a few dozen Russian soldiers and destroyed some Russian boats. But this is really interesting that they were able to actually land on Crimea. And here's actually video footage of the Ukrainian special forces making their approach to Crimea. Absolutely insane. It's like Call of Duty or something. Um, but it just shows that the Ukrainians are able to get onto Crimea, and I do think that Ukraine is going to try to take back Crimea. When that is, I'm not sure, but we'll probably see that happen next year. They're going to try to go for Crimea, I think, next year. Norway may transfer F-16s to Ukraine. Uh, Let me read to you what the Prime Minister of Norway said, Jonas Gahr Støre. He said, "We are planning to donate Norwegian F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine and will provide further details about the donations, numbers, and time frame for delivery in due course." So that's crazy, guys. They've already been, Ukraine has already been promised like 60 jets from the Netherlands and Denmark, and now Norway is gonna donate their jets. So, this is pretty serious, guys. Pretty serious amount of fighter jets there. Um, Here we have all of the tropical systems in the Atlantic Basin. We currently have Tropical Storm Franklin that's going to turn into a hurricane. Doesn't look like it's going to threaten the eastern seaboard. We have some other tropical waves, but none of them are going to be threatening the eastern seaboard of the U.S., so we're clear for now. This is Tropical Franklin's forecasted cone, and I guess it's possible that it could recurve and hit, the eastern seaboard, but it's looking like it's going to stay out in the Atlantic. We still have excessive heat warnings across the plain states. Look at all these excessive heat warnings. Eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, eastern Nebraska, eastern Kansas, Iowa, southern Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, western Ohio, southern Michigan, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, Mississippi, western Alabama, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana. I mean, just a massive amount of advisories here, excessive heat warnings, heat advisories. So stay cool if you're in the area. So wanted to just give you guys this quick update. Very strange situation with Prigozhin. Did he fake his own death? Did NATO have some kind of deal with him to erase his identity and give him asylum somewhere? Is that why that jet went to Azerbaijan? Maybe Prigozhin was on that jet. Or was it just Putin taking him out? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but likely we're never going to know the truth. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'll keep you updated. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.